We take it to Parliament, where Interior Minister Ambrose Derry has assured the House government is increasing the supply of PPEs to security officials along Ghana's borders to enable them effectively keep the country safe from importation of COVID-19 cases. Monitoring the situation on the floor of Parliament is Joseph Opoku-Gakpo. He joins us on the line. Joe, what else has the Interior Minister been saying? Right, Joseph, what else has the Interior Minister been saying? We seem to have lost Joseph Opoku-Gakpo there. We'll re-establish that connection with him and get him back on the line for the latest there. But we stay in Parliament because Minority Spokesperson on Education Peter Nochu-Kotoi says government's decision to let final year JHS and SHS students return to school for a period of 3 months will endanger them. The Education Minister has announced the final year SHS students will spend 6 weeks undertaking revision when they return to school, and another 5 weeks will be spent writing exams. But Peter Nochu says the students had only about 2 weeks left on the academic calendar before schools closed. He says it is the only additional duration they should be spending in school when they resume, warning keeping them for a long duration could expose them to COVID-19. We'll get the latest on that, but Joseph Opoku-Gakpo has rejoined us on the line. Joseph, if you can hear me, let's begin with the Interior Minister's briefing of Parliament today. Right, we'll go back to Parliament for the latest stories from there, but let's stick with education. And a member of the National Council for Parent-Teacher Associations, Alexander Danso, is advocating for final year SHS students who will be returning to school to be allowed to use mobile phones on campus. He says it will be difficult for the students and their parents to live for about 3 months without visiting privileges. Education Minister Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh announced on Tuesday that parents of final year students in senior high schools and second year Gold Track students will not be allowed to visit their wards as a way of limiting the spread of COVID-19. But speaking on Joy Prime TV's Prime Morning to myself, Mr. Danso appealed to government to also consider alternatives that can allow children access to their parents.
Time we saw it necessary to include them in the reopening of only the candidates. But for the testing, just after we had presented our proposals to the president, fortunately we had the COVID team, 2 doctors in our midst, and they gave us some education, and they were saying that somebody could test negative today, but because of the incubation period of whatever, the person could be infected, and it will be the person will later test positive. And so the issue is, if we want any testing to be done, then it should be done before we go to school, and throughout the school period we should also go through the testing, which is not possible anyway. And so once we were told that any time there was a positive case in a particular community or school, they will do contact tracing and probably test all the students and the teachers in that particular educational institution.
Right, so on the opening of schools, with the reopening of schools in the Gold Track, which is the issue that you highlighted there? You mentioned that you may have some concerns.
We did not mention that. We only wanted the candidates to be in school. But that was the Gold Track students of
Apologies for the wrong soundbite there. That was Philippa Larson. She's president of the Ghana National Association of Teachers.